section, which will be embargoed until 1:30 on Friday. We'll start with Vinny, move on to Adam, Ian Irving, and then the same order we've just been, and if there's any questions after, we can go through them. So Vinny, if you want to start us off when you're ready.
Yeah, Jesse, going into this game against Newcastle, what do you take from the City game that can benefit you moving forward?
Well, I think first that Newcastle is most dangerous in transition. And so we give away basically 3 goals in transition this match. So we've got to be better in those moments. They're very good from their wide spaces in 1v1 situations, and then they're very dangerous once they get into the attacking third. So, we need to just continue to work on our defensive responsibilities and our understanding of how to be more stable. Which is a shame because in a lot of ways I thought we accomplished some of those things tonight, but we obviously have more work to do.
How do you instill that belief as well? Because at times you obviously, in that first half, got the ball down and played through the lines, and then came the process where the ball was being given away at times as well. And it does come down to belief within the group.
Yeah, I mean, it's quality too. Right. I mean, you play a team like Man City, and now the quality that they have on the pitch, and then the energy they have to when they lose it to make it difficult for you. And so, I mean, this game, the Man City game will be different than the Newcastle game. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not slighting Newcastle. We know how good they are, but it's a different tactical game, and it'll require a different kind of match plan, and it'll require different emphasis. But for sure, managing their dangerous players or controlling them from creating big chances and scoring goals will be the key.
How different is the preparation then? Because as you said, Newcastle is so intensive like yourselves.
Yeah. Yes, that will be a big demand physically for us. Now we get Tyler Adams back, which we think will be a major boost for us. Hopefully Somerville and Harrison as well. And then, we can look to push that game still physically in the way we want.
Finally for me, Jesse, is it a case of having to lift the mood amongst the group as well? Because it's 3 defeats on the spin, all competitions, but that doesn't tell the whole story.
No. The belief is high here. That's not an issue. It's the stress of what this league is and where we are right now as a club. I would love to say that we want to win every match and we're in position to do that. We know that with the reality of who we are right now, that's not realistic. But for us to stay really, really focused on improvement, on becoming the team we want to become, on continuing to develop and grow, we believe in our players, we believe in our mentality, and we're going to get better. We know that. So that's the focus. Thank you.
How stressed are you feeling, Jesse?
Right now, it's always stressful, unfortunately. But I want to represent exactly what I want to be, which is about our controlling what we can control, our ability to live in the moment, our ability to push each other on a daily basis, to stay strong in the toughest moments. That I have to represent by my behavior.
And do you feel that's quite similar to the situation when you arrived then, Jesse?
No, I think there's the difference between when I arrived and now is that the group understands me and understands more the football that we want to play, and so there's confidence in that, and there's belief in what we're doing. So it's just about continuing to stay true to our process and continuing to push every day.
What's the biggest evidence of the evolution, do you think, since you've been here, Jesse?
Yeah, the behaviors of the players and the development of the players, right? There's a lot of guys that I think have developed a lot since I've been here. Like I think Robin Koch right now is playing the best football of his career. I think Pascal is. I think Tyler Adams is. I think Marc Roca is. I think Rodri is. I think Sam Greenwood is. I think Cree Somerville is. I think, so the guys that now have really been a big part of how we've kind of continued to evolve, I think are really showing that they're in really good phases of their career, and we're going to continue to make them better.
Coming up against Newcastle, you look at the two clubs last January, and now you look at the two clubs now. Mm-hmm. Is it just about money, Jesse?
Money is always helpful. I've seen Eddie's comments as well, and you don't want to slight the job he's done because he's done an amazing job. But we all know that in this world of football, it's something that's different than American sports. When we have salary caps and everyone has a chance when the season starts, I'm sorry, but the way that European football works, that's just not the case. And so how do you build? Well, one is a process and continuing to invest every penny the right way, which we are trying to do. And another one is a massive influx of money. I mean, look, take Chelsea 25 years ago, take Newcastle now, take whatever you want, take Man City 15 years ago. I mean, it's a difference maker, and I mean, by the way, it's for every phase of what you're doing as a club, manager, players, everything. But we like us. We like who we are. We like our identity. We like the mentality that we've created, and we like us. So we're going to keep building in our own way.
And Patrick Bamford, finally, what's the latest?
Probably not in training until next week. Hopefully Sunday, Monday.
Yeah.
Jesse, how much of a difference do you think Patrick, a fit Patrick, could make to your season?
Yeah, we know that Patrick can score goals in bunches. He's proven that. And even, I tell you, he hasn't been at 100% since I've been here. He just hasn't. And even that being said, he's created a ton of chances. And it's unfortunate that some of them haven't fallen the way that he's wanted. We're hopeful that this diagnosis and this surgery can really be kind of a big part of the physical equation and solution for what's necessary for Patrick. His attitude's been good. He's doing everything he can, and again, hopefully we get him going next week.
Can you rely on him moving forward, do you think, considering the issues that he's had over the last year or so?
From what we've seen, he seems like he's on the right track to physically get himself back to 100%. So we're really hopeful that the answer is yes. Yep.
Graham?
Do you think there'd be a quality issue with other teams in this league? Because you have acquitted yourselves very well against top teams. I'm thinking specifically of Newcastle. Do you look at their squad and see a quality issue like you saw a quality issue tonight?
I mean, they have a very good team, and they have a lot of players playing at a high level right now. So, yeah, I think you don't get to the top of the table without having a lot of quality in this league. So, yeah, it will be a challenge. It'll be a challenge for sure. We have to be very clear and disciplined on our match plan, and then execute at the highest level. It's like this for every game, Graham. To be honest, it's like this for every game.
And how important then are each and every transfer window to try and bring yourself?
Every decision that we make, I feel like, from what we decide for tactics, how we invest in players, everything we do becomes vital. But we've gotten a lot right over the last 6, 7, 8 months. So we're going to continue to believe in our process.
12 months ago, Cody chose to go out on loan because he wasn't playing enough. You've said the other day that you think even now there might be a need to give him some more minutes.
Yeah.
At what point do you have to start playing him and putting him in squads to convince him that he should stay, as you believe that you want him to?
It's a good question, Aaron.
I know it's hard.
No. I mean, and I like Rasmus and Luke a lot too. It's interesting. Even we had Cody in at the end of last year, and he wasn't convinced that this was going to be the right place for him to come back. And then he came into preseason, and then he's kind of worked through the year, played with the 21s a lot, and I think the idea of being here has grown on him a lot. And then, maybe it could have gone differently if that feeling was there from the beginning. But we're in a good place now with Cody, and I like him a lot, and I think he's committing to this at the highest level. And so, yeah, we have to figure out what that means and how to continue to have him part of our group. And in the long-term vision, I want him to be here, period.
We haven't spoken to you since Diego's contract. Obviously, the club are very, very happy with that news. Can you talk us through the decision, why you offered him the deal, and what you see his future being as he goes into his 30s? Yeah.
I think Diego, first of all, at the beginning stages of the season, was playing very well. And then Coops came back, and at the time we made that decision. And Coops is an important player for us from a leadership perspective, from a player perspective, everything. But even I thought when Diego came on tonight, when he came on against Monaco, we gave up 3 goals right away. He was almost just getting himself going, so it was a little unfortunate for him. But I thought tonight he played well, and the reason is because we think he has quality. Center backs aren't easy to find, and so when you have a good one, you wanna find a way to keep hold on to him.
Phil,
Sorry.
What do you think Dramy's looking for here?
Playing time.
What do you think would make him happy?
Playing time. Every player wants playing time, and when they don't get it, they're obviously they want to be part of it. So, and again, Cody's for me knocking on the door in a big way, So, I think right now he just has to continue with the same mentality and keep every day pushing to show how good he is, and he's done that.
Yep.
Sorry.
Jesse, just going back to the financial situation, clearly there's levels of finance. How does Leeds as a club, how do you build? Because obviously the clubs at the top have got the most money, and then there's another section down with more money, and then other clubs who've got some to invest. How do you kind of scale up the...
Yeah, I mean, like in summer, what I said is, it's not necessary. Obviously, I know we're tasked in this league to compete with Man City, Chelsea, these kinds of teams, Liverpool. But our true competitors are more, the mid-table, bottom of the table teams, and now to try to do better than we've done against them. And that's in the reality where there's a bunch of us in this same category. And it's not just about money, but certainly it's a factor. There's history of the club, there's infrastructure, there's player pool, there's playing style, there's manager, there's time, there's a lot of different factors. But you're almost in any league around the world always going to see there's teams at the top, and those teams are typically the teams that spend the most.
I mean, that is very difficult for...
It's awful.
Not wrong, but Leeds United have won league titles. There are other big clubs in England who have won league titles, but it's almost like there's a glass ceiling there.
Well, I mean, I don't, again, this is coming up because of Newcastle. I don't want to slight Newcastle at all financially, like about this whole thing, because regardless, they've done a great job, and obviously it can make things easier, but that's not the only job. I don't look at it as glass is half empty. I look at it as trying to maximize our potential for what we want to become every day. And I know with the history of this club and what's been achieved here that the expectations are high and maybe unfairly high, but who cares? Who cares? I have to do the best job I can and help this club and this team be the best that they can possibly be. Point.
Marc?
Jesse, do you view Newcastle as potential Premier League winners this season? And if not, then in the next 2 or 3 years?
I think I read that they are expected goals the best team over the last 4 months, or since the first month and a half or something like that. So it's a good team. It's well coached, well organized, dynamic, good team.
Do you see them as potential Premier League winners?
It's hard to say. I think it's really competitive this year. So I think obviously Man City, Arsenal, Newcastle, Tottenham, Man U's playing better. There's a lot of good teams. Liverpool will get going. This league is brutal.
Okay, then everyone all right? Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
1:30 on Friday, please, if that's all right.